Dang.
All right, hello.
Oh,
Okay,
we got another one.
Hello. Alrighty, we ready?
Yeah, let's do
Ready
it.
to go?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Get it.
Alrighty, welcome to the podcast. My name is Sage. This is the first real official one. The first one I messed up and didn't end up recording accidentally. But we had Cuddy on there, we had Tommy, and we got him back for the real one this time.
Yes, sir.
And as you guys, I'll give a little intro about what the podcast is about since this is the real first official one. Pretty much talk about Oregon State athletics, basketball, football, gymnastics, volleyball, all that good jazz, and also Greek life as well. So if we want to go around the couch, do a little intros, just what grade you are, your name, whatever you guys want to do. Start with Cameron.
Yeah, I'm Cam. I'm a senior. What else you want me to say?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Mechanical engineer.
What up? My
Nerd.
name's Rob. I'm a junior. Kinesiology major. And riding my bike across the country this
Oh
summer.
yeah,
So-
donate to that
Donate to my
philanthropy, man.
fundraising
Donate
page,
to that
yeah,
philanthropy. What's the philanthropy? What's
Journey of Hope. I'm riding my bike from
and where can they make donations, Rob?
follow my Instagram, Robert T. Amison. Got the link in the bio. Donate to my fundraising page. Short gist. I'm going from San Francisco to Washington D.C. Raise $6,500 for people with disabilities for our philanthropy. So go look into that.
Hell yeah.
What are you at? What are you at right now?
I'm at like 1,500.
That's
how
solid.
Help me get there.
How many total miles is it? Do you know?
It's like 3,500.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
60 plus miles a day, right?
Yeah, average 70.
Jesus,
Wow.
that's crazy.
It's dedication.
All right. All right, Josh.
My name is Josh McCormick. I'm a businessman here at Oregon State, comm major, and that's pretty much all about me.
There we
My
go.
name is Caden Ripley. I'm a sophomore here, and I'm a graphic design major.
My name is Thomas Blevins. I'm a sophomore here at Oregon State. I'm currently a mechanical engineering major, and I just like playing with cars.
Fire up.
Cool. I want to talk about Greek life just a little bit later, but we had a ton of games this weekend. Beavers showed out. On topic of Beaver sports, want to talk a little bit about Beaver basketball in that game last night. Beavers played Oregon, and we lost by 2 points.
69, 67.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty-
Did everybody go to that game?
I was there for the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Cuddy?
Well, I was there for, I stayed 2 minutes the second half, and then I decided it was time to go home.
Fair. But does anybody have any thoughts about that game? I know we lost. I mean, we barely lost. I personally thought, like, man, if we just would have made, we missed like 5 free throws down the stretch, like within that 10-minute in the second half, 10-minute to 5-minute range, there was literally like 4 missed free throws, and we lost by 2. And if we would have hit a bit more, like, man, we would have won the game. But yeah.
I mean, talk about them refs, though. I mean, some of those are questionable calls now.
Yeah, which ones?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna
Which
be able to
ones?
tell exactly, but I think we all can agree.
You got to keep notes, Rob.
Yeah,
you got to keep notes during
I know
during
there's
the game.
I heard you barking at the refs too. You guys were all kind of chirping.
yeah.
Especially Dylan and Harry up here too. So
No,
questionable calls.
I got to the game, and I'm pretty sloshed, and we go to the high, the rafters, and we're sitting up there, and I'm just barking at these refs. No, of course, none of them can hear me, but then we I dropped down with a couple boys, and we went and sat with Lida and all them,
Yeah,
like
you
right behind the basket,
Yeah, when did you leave from up there?
like within 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing about like all these stuff is like going to Beaver games and things like that is you could go and get like a student ticket, and you could be sitting up in the rafters, but then you could just drop down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could drop down all the way down and pretty much just get like
Courtside.
$300 seats that are like so easy.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest difference, like with I'd say our basketball program and places like like North Carolina, Duke, it's super hard to get their tickets. They gotta like camp out, and then even when you do get the tickets, you could potentially be in like some of the worst seats in the whole Coliseum. But for us, it's because we're not on that level yet.
Coming soon.
Yeah, Josh is gonna help out with that.
You can just, go to the game and then move around, and if you don't like this spot or, these people are sitting in front of you, and you have a lot of freedom to do it. But one thing I think about the basketball, Coliseum is it needs a renovation bad.
Oh yeah.
Like they
Yeah?
got
Where at? Like what parts?
Stadiums is like
What parts
so
of Gil?
old. It's the same stadium my dad saw. And he was here in the 90s.
I will say the
That's
seats
ridiculous.
the seats up top are garbage.
Oh yeah.
Like at the very top, like where we were originally sitting last night is garbage. It's terrible.
I'm surprised they didn't make some sort of renovation after the March Madness run.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's really what the. Yeah, bro. I mean, I think because the football team, they got a lot of money for the that new stadium, but I think that was someone who's in the health department, so they also wanted that's what a hospital's built. But I think it's time for whoever's got all this money and can do it to update the stadium to look more modern. Because you look at like Oregon, obviously we don't even compare ourselves
Papa
to them.
Phil just kind of dumped money on him too.
Right.
And that's coming from a football player, folks. he wants Gil redone.
Yeah, we need Gil done redone ASAP. And the gymnast girls, they bring in a lot of fans.
Yeah, they are.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I went to a gymnastics meet. It's packed. It's really packed because we're ranked 11th, I think, in the country. By the way, we play Utah next week, ranked 4th in the country. So shout out to that game.
No, it's packed. I never knew it was going to look that packed. I think they have more attendance than probably basketball, like wrestling, soccer, like all those sports. It's because they're good. I mean, you start winning, people are going to come. Because 5 years ago, didn't nobody go to Oregon State football game.
No.
Speaking of wrestling, while you're on the topic, I would like to shout out Oregon Wrestling for beating Stanford today in a wipeout, 30-2.
Damn.
I would also like to highlight Matthew Olgevin. Sorry for butchering the last name. Beat Shane Griffith. I've been watching Stanford wrestling with my dad for the last few years. He's an amazing wrestler, and I'm sure it was a huge upset for the Stanford wrestling team.
Yeah, 30-2. You guys suck. Fuck off, Stanford. No, Josh, you brought up a good point earlier about I've U of O. I got buddies who go to U of O, and they always tell me we've had to pay $100 a term to and then we had to camp out just to get shitty seats.
Yeah.
I purchased my ticket an hour before, and then I go to the game and I get great seats.
This guy got his ticket on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I got friends at Gonzaga, and they literally have to camp out the night before, and they're intense.
Is it just a line, just
it's
first come, first serve
tents.
to the tickets?
It's first come, first serve. It's a whole line of tents, and you might not even get in. That's the scary part.
And I've seen some of them. They make you take a. They had too much people, so you got to do a fucking trivia test. And then,
About the team?
Yeah.
Whoa.
The university,
that's crazy.
Duke and North Carolina, you got to do some trivia test, and then whoever passes that, and they put them in a raffle, and then something else, and you can still do all that shit and just not get it, because so many people want it. So I think right now, Oregon State fans are at their peak, because if we keep it up and we're ranked, we're gonna have the same type of problems that those other schools who are good every year are having. But right now, for the process that just started, it's the best. It's the best time to be a fan.
Yeah, no, and man, I mean that March Madness run last year, and Beaver's getting 10 wins this year, third time in history. This is since the beginning, since me and Cam were freshmen, it is definitely, going to a Beaver game and now expecting a win instead of expecting a loss it's really nice because I could go to the game and have some confidence in the team and everything like that. So, and even across all sports, baseball is always fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Football is on the come up. Basketball, we went to the Elite Eight a year and a half ago, and all these teams are doing super well. So
do not forget about gymnastics.
And gymnastics. I'm leaving I'm probably leaving cricket out and something like that. But
we have a lacrosse player.
yeah, softball team. Yeah. Maybe not.
Wasn't our men's soccer team super good last year? I don't know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, men's soccer. I honestly have no
Honestly, all
idea.
athletics.
That was the one
That's
thing.
all
That's the one game I've never
bro,
gone to.
Men's soccer was good, and then also
Didn't the women's basketball team upset somebody?
Oh yeah.
Arizona.
This weekend they beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for a little bit of it. Also packed. Yeah. But no, I want to switch it over to football. We'll only talk about a couple more sports here, but Josh, you're on the football team, and I kind of want to start off with you and just your overall thoughts about the team this coming year and what you thought of this past year.
So this past year, I think. So we come off a 6-7 season, and it's good because we're at a bowl. But we knew we had too many games that we lost that we had no business losing. You know what I'm saying? Like Colorado, I think it was. I really don't remember it actually, but there was just teams that we never should have lost to. And so we come off, we beat Fresno State barely, and it turns out they started off rough, but they were a very good team.
Well, yeah, they went to their. They played for their championship in their league, right? Fresno, and they ended up winning.
And then they ended up having, I think, 10 or 11 wins.
Yeah.
So they were a good team, and so we barely beat them. And then the Stanford game, I personally feel like was a make or break, because we just come off that loss to Utah, and then we're just standing there on the sideline, and I'm just like, damn, we really can't lose this game, because this is Stanford. And then all of a sudden he catches it, and I'm like, man, we're really in something. That's when we knew, we need to get our shit together, and then we can, we're a good team. We can go beat on everybody, and, So for next year, I think our strength coaches and a lot of our coaches are very good at developing players, and I don't think they get enough credit in the social media for, how they develop our players, because at the end of the day here, we're not the ones who can drop, I'm not going to say a number, but money on, the 5-star recruits who are requesting all this crazy shit. And so, we take who we get, but our coaches can mold them. So, you know what I'm saying? If you have a 5-star who's not a moldable player, it's a hit or miss. 4 stars as well. You have a lot of 4-star burnouts. But we'll take a 3-star, 2-star, even someone who's not ranked.
Yeah.
Take him into our program. He follows our weight stuff. He learns our plays. The older guys help him. And that's one thing I feel like people don't understand about Oregon State, just with our program in general. And I think Colorado, they have a lot of hype behind them for, the players that come. But at the
Deion
end of the day,
Sanders, man. That's going to be...
and no disrespect to them, they had the #1 recruiting class in the nation. And, we're in close games with UMass.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily, recruiting does help, but it's a lot what's going in, inside your program. We have a big buy-in mentality. So first, Arizona State, we had so many people injured. We were damn near playing the second and third strings, and we went and still fucked on them. Because, the next guy up, he's ready.
Yeah. No, that Florida game, their whole team had just, said, fuck it, I'm out. Before that bowl game, their whole team had just dipped.
Well,
I'm not dogging on the team at all, because you guys whooped them. But when you got guys that are out, it definitely makes it easier. But 30-3 was one hell of a score. But I want to shift it over the big topic. What do you think of DJ?
Well,
have you met him yet?
I actually have met DJ, and this is what I'll tell y'all. So Ben's my boy, so I see DJ coming in, and I'm like, okay, Ben's my guy, and I don't, Ben's my guy.
Yeah.
And so because I don't really keep up with I keep up with the football stuff, but sometimes I get confused who is who. So I'll think let's say Oregon star receiver, I'll butcher his name for the best linebacker on Stanford. I just get their names confused. So, and their faces get confusing to me. So, I see, the transfers are all in, and I'm talking to this one guy at lunch, and I was like, yeah, who is this guy? He's pretty cool. And then he kind of brings up something about Clemson, and I was like, oh, that is DJ. And I was like, damn, Ben's my guy, but DJ is a pretty likable guy, man. He is a cool dude. So I was like, oh, shit. Because, Ben's my guy, so it was like, well, if DJ's a super unlikable guy, it'd be easy to be yeah, I really want, but, they're both good. They're both going to compete hard. I think, to be honest, I don't know who's going to start. With the quarterbacks,
yeah.
It's very hard to, I don't necessarily know what they're looking for, because the kickers are, just not in the loop like that. But when we watch them all throw outside, it's all the quarterbacks, they're just slinging it. The freshman quarterback, he's slinging it.
Yeah,
the quarterbacks are slinging it. All the quarterbacks are really slinging that. I'm just like, wow, This is gonna
You guys have practice? Do you guys have practice right now, or are you guys just like doing weight training right now? Or
It's
you guys?
it's weight training,
Yeah.
and then we test for our combine, and then we'll get into like fall ball, and so we'll start fall ball in like 2 weeks. But we throw and like kick and all that on Saturdays, on our own.
Over the summer, like doesn't the field get redone? And do you guys still go to Summit by chance? Because that's where I went to high school, and the Oregon State team would always come there, and they would always scrimmage in Bend at the football field.
We actually stopped doing that
Oh,
because that I was hearing that they used to take them
Yeah.
from fall camp over to a high school.
yeah, right. And we would have practice that night, and there would be like so many snacks. There would be those BB and J's, those Uncrustables everywhere. We would just snag them, take them, all the Gatorade bars and everything like that. No, that was always fun to see because I would always go over there and check out and see a scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they were doing that to like isolate you from the potential distractions in Corvallis. But if you think about it, in the summer, I don't think there's a lot of
There's nobody
distractions
here.
in Corvallis. But
Yeah.
we stopped doing that. We do our summer and all that stuff on our field and in the indoor. And the weather's nice, so it's good.
Yeah, and speaking of the football stadium, does anybody know when the stadium's gonna be done? Isn't it supposed to be done like halfway fall?
This upcoming fall.
That's what I thought too, but I heard mid-season it was supposed to be done. Is that right? No? Before the
Yeah, I
season?
haven't heard anything. Isn't like 75% complete now?
I mean, I was looking at it the other day, and it looked almost done.
It's getting there.
By the way, that middle part, like you'll just be able to like stand, like you'll just be able to like stand and just like watch the game, which I think is super cool. But I don't know if that bottom part is an extended student section, because that's kind of what it looks like. Like those aren't like comfortable seats. Like those are that's like it's like concrete.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's for something for fans, but I don't know if it's for the opposing team or if they're gonna let students go over there. I have no idea what it's gonna look like, but
The construction guys, they're working hella hard.
oh yeah,
I thought they were
100%.
just kind of, because we saw one time on Snapchat, one of the construction guys was just screwing around, and we're like, bro, this shit's never getting done. But no, they're working really hard, and I think they had, because you know how like the mechanical program here, engineering shit or whatever, the program's like pretty legit here.
Oh yeah.
I think they have a lot of
pretty good.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that, Tommy?
No, it's pretty good. They've done some really cool stuff with the Formula SAE racing program. If you take a look at their brand new carbon fiber monocoque chassis, carbon fiber control arm, AI driving, all electric.
So Tesla?
Basically, it's a Tesla that's designed to go fast, not be safe.
Oh, Tommy's
Well,
that's music to Tommy's ears.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Can it drift too? AI drifting?
That
Maybe.
would be sick. That would be sick.
Would you trust it?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Tommy behind the wheel either. All right, Beaver baseball. It's just getting started. Pac-12, regular season's coming up. We're in the preseason right now. We're dogging on some teams. We lost. We got one loss so far. We're unranked, but we're on the cusp of being ranked. But I kind of want to talk about walkout songs, because I was out there today and like the other day, some dude had Schoolboy Q, and he's playing Studio.
That's
And I was
tough.
like, just trying to get to you, baby. You know that song? And I'm listening. I'm like, man, how are you hitting a dinger off of that, bro?
Well, it's a freshman. He's probably getting like hazed. They're probably making him do
Oh, really? Yeah, because you play baseball. You play baseball, right,
We
Cameron?
do some stuff like that. Like we would go choose the underclassmen songs for like walkout. Like I picked this one guy's song. It's Katy Perry song.
Oh, okay. All right. Then that explains a lot, because there's like 3 songs that are in there that are like J-Lo
Yeah.
and like this fucking awkward Schoolboy Q song. And I'm sitting there like, man, how'd you actually choose this to walk out on? No, but that's it. You have walkout songs for high school?
Yeah, we had them in our last year. But yeah, the seniors got to choose all the underclassmen, and then juniors got to choose theirs. But yeah, there's some funny walk-up songs.
What'd you guys do? What songs?
Oh, dude, like I think we did. So like I did Katy Perry for one guy. So we had like.
What Katy Perry song?
I
Firework?
think I did Firework.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember what the other one was.
If
I think we
you
did
were-
Old Town Road for one of them.
If you were to pick right now, what song would you pick for somebody?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It depends who it is. It all depends
Oh,
on
yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, do they really hate
Personally-
Katy Perry?
I would
What's it?
take
Yeah.
the Burger King ad.
The
on-
Whopper,
That on
Whopper.
repeat? Yeah.
I don't know. I get pretty hype off that. I don't know if that's necessarily hit. That's just really fucking funny.
It's really wild.
Does anybody else have anything about baseball? I mean, we just got started in the season. I think we played Copperfield or
Coppin
some
State.
Coppin State.
Yeah.
They're from Virginia, and we dogged them 16 today, 16-2, or that was yesterday. Today, 15-3. It was really close in the beginning. Actually, I was kind of worried, and I had to leave to go to the wrestling game, get my stamp done.
That's good though. It's good that they're getting their bats going, giving them confidence early in the season.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just
Yeah.
to boost them.
Yeah, when it comes time for when they go to Arizona and they go to Scottsdale, they're gonna they better kill it because U of O is ranked right now. They're
I don't
U
know
of O's
how
25th.
they got ranked. I don't know how their preseason ranking got 25th.
Have you watched any of the games?
Not Oregon games now, but like, I don't get. They didn't even go to Omaha last year.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's the thing about bringing in high star recruits and whatever is and their whole Phil Knight thing is when you bring on those 5 stars and 4 stars. I don't know how it works at baseball, but I'm just assuming. You end up getting ranked pretty high in the season. Like there's some teams in there that in the top 25 that have 2 losses, 2-3 losses, and they're still ranked right now, which is crazy to me. One more thing on the topic of sports. We had the highest attendance. I don't know if you guys saw that. The highest attendance for 2,400 students at the U of O game, which is absurd. I mean, all the way, like we were saying, all the way to the rafters. Like we were sitting up there, all the way to the rafters. It was just packed. So shout out to the Oregon State students. You guys are killing it and coming out to every game. And I know that's appreciated by the players. So
yeah, it really is. I don't think. Me being from the South, I watched their fans switch up really quick. I mean, they'd switch up for like a half a fucking Popeye's chicken sandwich. Like, they're the most, in my opinion, I think they're not super loyal fans. And one thing that's different here is, sports here, like traditionally, minus baseball and like a couple, have not been great. So now that they're good, the fans are there, and the fans are there even when they were bad. So the fans are definitely like, they turn everybody up. Because I remember, so we go out there to, I don't know what the fuck we do. I just throw around the balls to make it look like I'm doing something. But when we would watch them open the gates and fans sprint in and try to get their spot at the front for the football game, I'm like, oh shit. Like, people are lined up to actually watch us play.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're pumped to come watch it. So I was like, that really turned everybody up. We're like, oh, what the fuck?
Like, yeah.
These fans coming. So yeah, I think the fans are super responsible for a lot of the winning. And I mean, look at our home atmosphere. We don't lose at home.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually absurd. I mean, like what? Well, last season we didn't lose a home game. I mean, this season we lost to only USC, right? That's it. And they were the 5th ranked team in the country, and we were at that time unranked. Like that. Like that's crazy. And going back to your point earlier about U of O students sitting in the bleachers is, I would much rather have the students as close as humanly possible to the game so that they can distract the players and scream, when they're on offense to,
I mean, they're the one paying the most to be at the game.
Yeah, also so true. Yeah. All right, cool. Does anybody else have any topics?
Well, I was gonna say off of that, I just feel in general that Corvallis compared to UO, Eugene, we're a closer knit of people. The environment, the culture around Corvallis and OSU, specifically, everybody's just so close. Almost every time you walk to class, people. So that environment, that culture we build, we see people at the game, we are just fired up. Whereas I know people in Eugene, and it's just a different atmosphere, and it's not the same as how we have our shit laid out here.
Well, the Ducks are always winning.
They're always winning.
They're always winning. So when we win, it's a big fucking deal. It's a huge deal.
Corvallis
And now we're winning, reasonably across all sports, and now, 4 or 5 years ago, we really weren't doing that well.
Yeah.
And so everyone's looking back on that and being like, I'm going to go to every game because I don't know when it's going to be like this again.
Yeah.
So that's kind
Appreciate
of
it.
what I think. Yeah, they appreciate it way more. And I remember that Stanford game. I remember watching it on TV. Zero people. Like, nobody was in the stands. No fans were there. And I'm looking at that. I'm like,
Oh, we had.
Dude.
I feel like we had more fans.
Yeah.
Just because we have a lot of players from California, they had. Because I was like, where are these? Like, who are all these? Like, all the people from California. They're in the stands and like, hey, like, cause my boy Everett, he's from like the Bay, and they're like, Everett. I was like, bro, who are all these people? He's like, oh yeah, my family. Like, everyone showed up. We had so much fans at that Stanford game. So, I mean, that definitely... And then once we won and we got to go see them and turn up with them, yeah, it was great.
yeah, I remember people just going down to Stanford, just flying down and watching the game. Like,
Right.
It's crazy. And also, like, other stadiums are so far away from campus, like, especially in those big cities, like USC, U of O. It's a 30-minute walk. They don't have any, from what I know, they don't have any buses, from what I've heard. USC is, like, their stadium's in the middle of downtown, which is so far away from campus. Like, even when almost anywhere in California is kind of like that, which is really interesting. I don't know, Tommy, you live in San Jose, so, I went to San Jose State, and their stadium was about a 20-minute walk.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for it much. I've been to that stadium a few times, and it is in a really weird location. It's a lot of just, like, kind of random businesses, mechanic shops, random restaurants, like, unique, stores. It's a really strange place in downtown. But it is a really cool stadium. I got to play there once in Pop Warner. That was really cool.
What'd you play?
We played our championship game there. Oh,
Football?
no, sorry. This was PAL. PAL. It was just one of the
Is it
names of the
baseball
league.
or football?
Football.
Or football, okay.
Sorry, yeah.
What position you play?
I was linebacker and offensive end.
Oh, Big Tommy. Big Tommy. I wouldn't want to see Tommy coming at me. No, all right. So we're going to close out on the topic of Beaver sports here, kind of talk a little bit about Greek life. Cameron, I'll start with you. What do you think are some of the biggest differences between sororities and fraternities, if you have any? Actually, no, you have to have something.
The cleanliness.
The cleanliness? Bro, sororities have, like, actual cleaners that come twice a week.
That's why it's
Like-
so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine
Yeah.
paying like $3,000 a term. We
Probably more. I think more than that. It has to be more.
No, I heard that DG pays $3,000 a term to be a member.
That is.
And that's
Like, is that
that's across
dues
the-
or is that
that's
rent?
across the board. So like yeah, dues and then like the cleaning fees, food, everything. Like so like they kind of have it where like you can live in. It's an option for you. You don't have to, but everybody's gonna pay this flat fee, $3,000, and
That's 3,000 every 10 weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
like
my
4 or
God.
500 every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3,000 every 10. Wait a minute.
But that's DG. I think DG is one of the cheaper houses. Like
That's
DV,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you get those Portland Metro
Bro.
girls that get in that house
Yeah.
and the daddy money, and then it's like,
I know. How are you paying for that?
yeah. Like, I can't imagine trying to work to pay for that.
No, that would be everything.
I think
Yeah.
that's
That'd be everything you have. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to
That's
buy
awesome.
any booze. You wouldn't be able to
No.
buy anything with that.
You can buy
No
tuition.
car. No.
No, nothing.
Well,
If I was a girl,
I'll tell you
I'd rush.
firsthand. I work at 3 sororities as a houseboy, and
They have
I mean,
houseboys.
but they have houseboys, so they have people like me specifically to come and like clean their kitchen. And I'm like, wait, like, do we not have to get house girls? And we are like ran by campus cooks. That's why I work for campus cooks, and like. I'm there 4 or 5 days a week. There's 2 people every day, like maids and everything, cleaning the kitchen spotless every night, for like other people to come and do it. So it's crazy, like the difference in like cleanliness and like what he said is just insane.
Hey, what do you do as a houseboy, Rob? Like specifically, besides doing, do you like actually serve food? Do you gotta
No.
dress nice? You
No.
like dress informal
Actually,
and
so
tie?
chapter dinner. Like so tomorrow we're chapter dinner.
Oh, okay.
I'll dress nice. I'll serve them food, polo, and all that stuff. Usually it's you do dishes, you sweep them up, take out the trash, you're gone. So it's like 2-hour
Yeah.
shifts,
Yeah.
lunch and dinner. But Chapter dinners like tomorrow. I have to like walk the house mom out. It's very formal. You like serve the girls' plates and all that stuff.
Dang.
So it's very formal on Mondays for their chapter dinner.
Okay.
Whereas ours is
No,
different.
come when you want. We got chapter sometime around 6. Like,
The chapter.
Yeah.
They'll be still be in the living room.
People be eating out of pots and pans.
yeah, but I'm so glad. Hey, man, Lonnie, if you ever listen to this, dude,
Eric
like,
came in clutch with all those
And
plates.
Eric,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Shout
was
out.
gonna say before
Harry got plates?
Yeah.
Eric
bro,
brought
and
a lot of
bowls.
those plates.
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was a big deal. And the coolest thing is that we get so happy about the littlest things,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Like, we got
It's
spoons and
size.
forks, like,
Wait, we have
last week, dude, and we were
have milk now. Let's go.
Yeah, we
Like,
dropped
Yeah,
the
like-
chocolate milk.
It's cereal
milk. Oh my
crazy,
God.
bro.
Add to that whole like, what's the difference? Like the other day, or Tommy sent a Snapchat into the fucking group chat. It's like, oh yeah, paper towel dispenser's gone. Like, it's just,
Everyone's like, yeah, hell shit.
It is what it is, but like that's those differences. Like you just go see a hole in the wall in the frat house. You're like, all right, that's sick, and then see one in the sorority. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Like something like did some fall?
Did something fall?
Yeah, like
The first thought isn't, did some AP get pissed? Nah.
I mean, I don't know. I think one of the biggest differences is that rush process. I mean, it's just so much
Oh,
more
yeah.
laid back and chill for
Yeah.
fraternities. And for sororities, I mean, I just hear these horror stories like, yeah, I was up for so long in a dress, walking around from
In
house to
heels,
house.
bro. In
But,
heels.
like,
you have
these
to wear
sorority
certain
houses are
things
not
on
that
certain
close.
days.
They're not that close. And on the first days, we
Yeah.
go all across.
KKG to
this
DG.
whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a heinous walk. And
And the whole selection process is
It's-
even more
it's
like
like
crazy.
demeaning.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that. Like, I feel like you get interviewed, you're not going to act like yourself. Like, I guess, I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I
you
don't
go to
know
a
if
frat,
it's
you don't
the
get a bid. It is what it is. You go
Yeah.
on to the next frat. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like, I'm obviously not in fraternity, but, kind of got some connections to sororities and whatnot. And I think the biggest difference, too, is, like, the bidding. Because the sororities, they have to do, like, and you only get a certain amount of time to really get to know them. It's like you got to talk to someone for maybe a minute. And, if they don't hear what they want to hear out of a minute, then it's like, I didn't really see it. On to the next. It's like, I don't know if y'all seen that meme of, it's like Drewski doing auditions. But it's like somebody comes up and auditions for like 20 seconds and he's like, nah, fuck, next. But I
It's like American Idol up
It's
in
that
there, dude.
fast, yeah.
I feel like the fraternities, like, they're going to try and, get to know you a little bit more before they make a decision, rather than just being like, well, I gave you 30 seconds and see what I want.
it's like
Yeah.
That's the one thing about the rush process, just like in general. Like, I wish it was longer, because then you would actually get a chance to actually know the guys. You would get the chance to recruit more guys instead of just a week and that's
Yeah.
it. Like, then it's over.
Well-
And you don't know if that guy's good or not, or you could give him a bid and, end up being that he's not cool, and you give him a bid and then you got to drop him, and now he's got to wait till spring term. So, like, I really wish the bidding process was a little bit longer and maybe even bled into winter term. But, it is what it is. But what do you guys, Cameron, you got something to say about that?
Well, like how many visits did it take you to sign your bid? Because I came twice, got my bid. I was like, yeah, this one I'm gonna sign unless I go to another house and I get wild. And I went to Sick Guy, and then I was like, yeah, you guys are sick, but I'm gonna turn around, and I went and gave my bid.
I don't know. I had a really hard time, and I had no shade on Pike, maybe a little bit, but I had a Pike bid in front of me and I had a Pike Hat bid in front of me, and I was like,
What's the difference between them?
well, yeah, no, well, what's the difference between it? And like, I was like I was, but like looking back, I'd be like, I would always sign Pike Hat 10 times out of 10, and if I had more time, maybe I would have had a way cleaner decision about what I was doing, but, or what I chose, because looking back on it, I would, choose Pike Cap all the time, but.
Well, the thing is, I feel like if I went to other houses first and then I came here last, I still would have picked this house just by like what I saw when I came.
Well, yeah, and you also, you got, 26 fraternities, something, and there's 5 days of rush. There's
Yeah.
6 days rush. Like that, like, you don't even have enough days to even go to every single fraternity.
Yeah.
There should be at least enough days to go to every single fraternity and check out every single one. Plus, you got school and everything. So, and you're deciding where you're going to be for your next 4 years of college. The guys are going to be around, all that stuff. And you only got 6 days to figure it out. Man, it's a tough time. I got lucky. I'm glad that I chose here, but, some people make that mistake. Some people have 3 bids in front of them, and they're like, all right, I'm going to sign this one. And then it ends up being trash. And you're like, well, wow, I just wasted 4 years of my life. Poof, gone. Like, that sucks. So,
26
I don't know.
is a lot of options. My cousin at Linfield, she just joined her sorority. And she only had 3 options for sororities. So their Greek life system's like just so much smaller and so much more condensed.
Yeah, they have 2 fraternities. It's like Theta. One of my boys is in Theta Chi at Linfield, so he chose
Oh,
between Theta
yeah.
Chi and then some other fraternity.
Yeah.
So they have,
Imagine like
5.
that's.
Do they even have houses? Or they got apartments?
They have, it's like live
apartments.
house.
Yeah.
They have their letters and stuff on it, but it's just like small live house.
Yeah. That's the other cool thing about Oregon State Greek life is, man, even talking to other people in other fraternities across, the United States, I show them a picture of our house, and they're like, bro, are you serious? You live there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I live with, 27 other guys. And they're like, bro. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. And, yeah, I mean, honestly, we're super blessed because you walk down the street and you'll see 5 fucking mansions. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of other campuses have that. Like, down south, you got that. But on the West Coast, not really.
No.
Yeah.
Like, Oregon State's the only one like that.
Yeah,
Even U of O's got apartments and...
The closest thing I can think of is University of Washington. I'm
Yeah,
from Seattle,
UW's
and
got
their
some
Greek
stuff,
row is
yeah.
crazy. It's like just a street with houses just lined on both sides for at least like 3 blocks, and it's just they're right next to each other.
Wazoo's like that too.
Wazoo's like that too.
Yeah.
That's all they
It's a
got
whole
there.
neighborhood, yeah.
That's all they got in Pullman. I mean, that's
It's so weird. It's
that's
just like
all we
one.
got
It's just
here.
one street.
Yeah.
It's just one street, and there's fraternity.
It's sick.
Sorority on the other side of the street.
I kind of
It'd be kind of sick, but I don't know. I like kind of. I mean,
like
I feel like we would
it,
get in a
yes.
bunch of fights, but that's just me. I mean, I can't imagine living next to another fraternity or living next to another sorority. Like, I don't know. It's just me. But
we do.
oh yeah, I guess we do live next to Theta. That's facts. All right. Yeah, Rob, what do you think are the biggest differences between fraternities and sororities? And we'll hit Tommy and then Josh.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm gonna say numbers. I feel like in general, sororities might have more numbers. You average out, like, most sororities have like 130 to 150 members. And like, I feel like, there's just like, there's more girls that come to Oregon State that join sororities than there are dudes that come to Oregon State and join fraternities. Like, I think what was the stat last spring? It was like 10% of incoming freshmen were joining fraternities, whereas like girls, it's like 50%. Like, half of the girls you meet are most likely going to be in a sorority of some sort.
No way. I don't think it's half,
maybe not
Rob.
half.
It's not half.
It's more than
because
10%,
11% of all Oregon State students are in Greek life. I think it's around 10, 11%.
For girls too?
Yeah, that's across the board. Well, okay, so that's everybody. So I don't know
Well, I'm
specifically
talking the
segmented
difference,
about
yeah,
girls and
the difference.
boys. But 50%?
Not 50.
Because
Okay,
if
but
there's
like-
there's 15 sororities and there's 100
Yeah,
girls
that's what
in
I'm
each
saying,
one,
is each sorority,
then that's
there's
1,500.
more girls in those sororities than there are dudes in fraternities.
Well,
Then we have- we
yeah,
have 70
definitely.
members. We have 70 members.
But there's also less sororities,
There's also less sororities. That's
Yeah.
probably why. But
about half.
we have 70 members. Most other houses, 80 to 90, 70, 80, 90, whatever. Sororities, you're looking 120, 130, 140. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's quantity of people joining,
yeah.
I guess, is a pretty big difference.
Tommy, what do you think are the biggest differences between fraternities and sororities?
I think it might be in sororities. It seems like their want for participation and their participation is usually like extremely high in the events that they host. I feel like in fraternities sometimes I've talked to a bunch of different guys and participation is a huge issue. Like, how do you convince somebody to come to an event when they don't get anything out of it? They're super busy. They think they can't take time out of their day to help out the house. I feel like there's a lot of effort there that sororities put
Well,
in.
girls,
They let the
sororities are
dress
more,
up,
they
you
have
know.
to do it. Like, it's
Yeah,
like an
well-
option, whereas we're more lean back. or laid back, more lenient.
Maybe that is the difference. We are way
it's like
more
mandatory
back
to show up to
in
stuff.
everything that we do. You know.
Well, it's really interesting because there's like some girls, and you don't hear about it, but like with guys, you have guys that are like half involved. But with girls, you are either involved or you're completely not.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Like, you're either living in an apartment or you're living in. Like, that's... And they fit way more people in sororities than they do fraternities. Also because it's, way cleaner and there's more incentive to live in. But it also costs way more. But... Yeah, I definitely, you're either one side of the spectrum or you're on the other side of the spectrum. And that's why you don't hear a lot of that's why you don't hear about it a lot, is because they'll never go out.
Yeah.
So, kind of interesting.
You're saying like G's don't go out? Like girls that don't join?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying sorority girls that, you don't hear about them, but I'd say about 10 to 15% of their members, and I don't know, this is just what I've heard, they're just not involved, like, at all. And that's why you don't hear about them, because they don't come to any parties, they don't come to anything like that at all, and they're usually, like, juniors, sophomores, spring term, seniors.
And then they tend to just drop because they can't afford that, like...
Well, yeah, you're paying $3,000 a term. I mean, fuck, dude.
You're trying to start your life as a college student, and you're trying to... The ones that have to pay for it themselves, can really struggle with that.
Josh, I'm curious to hear your opinion, because you're not in Greek life, so...
From what I've heard as well, firsthand seen, they will join an establishment, or you know what I'm saying, the Greek life, and just be like, okay, I'm in now. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. And it's just kind of like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do it? Just to occasionally show up to party here and there, and but they don't show up to the meetings, and it's like, you can just send an email or get out of meetings and all this stuff. So it's kind of crazy too. Like you said, like they just don't show up to anything. It's like they're AWOL. You don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I've heard
that's what usually happens. At least you'll hear from somebody, like, at least in a fraternity, like, you know everybody, at least in our house, and you kind of hear what people are up to. They'll come to the house every once in a while, but nobody just goes like MIA.
Yeah.
Because someone's gonna
unless they've dropped.
Yeah.
Bro, like, what's going on, like something like that. Yeah. And another thing, I don't know if this is with all sororities, but I feel like a lot of the sororities, like, some girls in there don't know all their members.
Oh yeah, that's a huge. No, that is so true. If you put a composite in front of them, I don't think they're naming it. Like, if you took off the names, I don't think they can name everybody.
I got a funny little story about this. So
let's hear it.
I'm doing sing as a junior. We're getting some boys to do sing, so I stepped up. I'm doing sing, and I'm talking to this girl, and I asked her the name of like one of her singlings in AGD because it was James's partner and James was there. So I was like, okay, who's blah blah blah, and she goes, I don't know who that is, and it's like she's standing across.
You guys are doing sing with them.
This was at practice.
Yeah.
So like she's in the group somewhere. And she doesn't know one out of the 15 girls that
Are they in the same class? Did you know?
Freshmen.
That's like, if you don't know your own class that you did associate member term with, that's crazy.
And it was like one out of 15 girls here, and she didn't know who it was. And I was like, wow.
That's why pledge term is the best, because you get to know those guys.
Oh yeah, you closer with them than anybody.
So much. Yeah, it's crazy. And the other thing about sororities and fraternities, just kind of in general, is like, I get why you would join a sorority, but at the same time, like, you could go to any party that you want as a girl. Yeah. You can't do that, or you can still do that whether or not you're in a sorority or not.
Yeah.
And so, when I see people drop or go MIA from a sorority, I'm like, okay, well, what's your reasoning behind that? Like, you're paying $3,000 a term to go MIA.
Yeah.
And, like, you could get into the parties anyways, so, like, if you ever wanted to. So, I don't know. It's really interesting, but...
Well, and for the girls who say how much they don't like the sorority they're in, or the girls, or whatever reasons it's going on, I will never understand why they just don't immediately drop. Because, like you said, if once you're in it, you already kind of know the people who are around. You can already get into the parties. like you'll still potentially get invited to the house dances, social stuff alongside with that. So I don't know why you would continue to stay in a house that you like clearly don't want to be a part of. It just seems like a complete waste of time on your behalf. And honestly, it seems like a waste of money. But like, you know, like that was already said, if it's daddy's money, like the money, it doesn't mean shit to you. Like it's not your bread.
Yeah.
I want to play devil's advocate. I think that like we're asking these questions like why would they still be paying this money and not involved? And I think a lot of them that would do that is like the connections of being able to say, hey, I was in Theta, I was in blah blah blah, put it on a resume, something like that.
Yeah.
So like that's probably why. If it is like you said, daddy's money, they don't care about it. They're like, okay, I'll take alumni status and I won't be involved, but I'll be able to say I was in the sorority and make connections for the future. I think that's what like a lot of us are here too. Is like connections is huge in Greek life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's probably a big reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good. Yeah. You
Yeah.
spot on there. Fuck,
I mean,
I was thinking
no,
about
yeah.
that. I was like, what?
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else? Cuddy, did you answer the question? And we'll hop off.
Difference between fraternities and sororities?
Yeah, the biggest difference between fraternities and sororities, and then we'll get out of here.
I mean, I'd say, okay, so, I mean, I talked a little bit about the rush process, and this isn't really a difference, but one thing I want to highlight is imagine being the person in the room on bid day for the sororities. You know, they open it up and they just scream their head off. There's no way. Like,
Bro, have y'all ever been to in front of the MU?
No, they probably gotta get a new person every year. Or every, time we have a rush, because I'm not going, if I did that, I'm not doing it twice.
Have you seen the girls? Have you seen the reaction when they don't get the house that they want?
Nah,
Oh.
Bro, those are the best, dude. Those are the best. They sit there, everyone's cheering around with them. They're just staring at their car. They're like, fuck did I just do?
Yeah, you went deaf for no reason.
Well, and they also pay money to go into rush in the first place.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like to be able to rush. I think it's like $100, something like that.
We had to pay in order. I think it's $50.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Mine was $0.
Yeah, I don't remember paying nothing.
Cuddy doesn't remember paying anything.
You guys.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard if you're like, you're in some room, and if you just open it, or you feel like you're not gonna get your sorority you want, you can just be on that bid day, all dressed up, all gassed up, and just be like, nah, fuck, I didn't get what I want, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then you just literally just gotta do the walk of shame back. And
The walk of shame. I didn't get my sorority. Fucking sweatshirt, walking back. Cool. Does anybody got anything else? Nah. All right. Cool.
Covered a lot. It was
Well,
good stuff.
yeah, good stuff. Thank you guys for coming on.
course,
We
of
do
course.
this every week. So if any of you guys want to hop back on, or if anybody listening, you can shoot me a DM. Brotherhood.beat is the official podcast name on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Fire up.
Pull out your phones, give a follow on that Insta. We're not very high right now, but we're hoping to get there. So, give that Instagram a follow. Listen to us while you're walking to class, whatever you're doing to and from class, and give Brotherhood.beat a Brotherhood.beat a follow on Instagram, and it's pretty much everything across all platforms. So, take a listen to us. First official podcast done. Thank you everybody for being here, and peace out.